Hey Sneak Peekers, it's Andrew Artiso here on the South by Southwest red carpet for the world premiere of We Feed People. What made you guys so passionate about Jose Andres and World Central Kitchen, and what led you to make this project?
Well, I happened to begin following what Chef Jose was doing only a couple of years after, Haiti, which was his first big activation that he really got involved in. And when he was first talking about it, he didn't even really talk about World Central Kitchen. It was really just him and a few friends. And those friends have grown in 12 years' time into, a really important, vital NGO. And so not only is the film about charismatic, remarkable, inspiring Chef Jose Andres, but it's also a sort of an origin story of an organization that can make a huge difference and do it in new, innovative ways. And it all comes from passionate individuals. And you begin to see, in fact, how human and possible it is to achieve.
And then we're both students at UT doing film school. Do you have any advice for people trying to join the entertainment industry?
Just start filming.
Yeah.
Just, pick up a camera, start documenting. If you want to be documentary filmmakers, reach out to people in the industry. LinkedIn is a great kind of asset for that too, I think. And people like ourselves will respond.
And McConaughey says JKL, just keep living.
Yes.
I say JKS, just keep shooting.
Yeah.
How did you kind of get involved with this film?
So I'm the director of emergency response for the organization. So I've been working with them for the last 5 years and have done about 50 of the responses for World Central Kitchen. So I'm usually the first one in to go in, and a lot of Ron's guys have been filming for the last couple of years. So I'm excited to see it for the first time.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And what is the main message you want the audience to get from watching the movie?
It's a good question. I think to be inspired. Look, a lot of us, the characters in the film that are actually doing the work that they're filming are just everyday people that have seen something wrong in the world and have decided to go do something about it. So anybody that's watching it, I would say we're no different than the person watching it. It's just the choice to go do something about an injustice in the world.
I think the last thing I have is, did you realize that you learned anything new throughout the process of making all of this?
I have a lot of respect for the team that does it. I think they work way harder. They're filming constantly. We're just doing our job, and they're constantly trying to follow. So I became friends with some of the videographers over the course of the years, and a lot of respect for the amount of work they put into this. And then to have just thousands of hours of footage and then dwindle it down to an hour and a half, I would not know where to start with that.
What was some of the main things that led you to work on this film?
Well, I work at Imagine Documentaries, which is Imagine is founded by Ron and Brian, and me, Justin, and Sara Bernstein, who's producers on the film. We work across all of the projects, but this is a very special one that Ron directed, and I think it came to us, and we're just honored to tell the story.
Awesome. And what do you think is the main message you want to get across to the movie? What do you want the audiences to learn from it?
I think that I want them to be inspired, and if there is something that they want to do, go do it. And it's I think so many problems are overwhelming, where do you start? So like Jose says, it's one plate of food at a time.
How did it feel when you kind of got approached to be a part of this documentary?
Well, it actually caught me off guard. I was told about it. However, just at the time of the filming, I was just doing what I needed to do as far as assisting, helping where people needed help. With World Central Kitchen, it just blossomed, and not knowing there's going to be a film, so it just kind of came about. So.
I know I've seen that you've been active on TikTok. I know that you're now a part of this. Is there any opportunities where you kind of want to get more involved with the media or kind of share a message there?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're spreading the message to help people, and the way to help people is with food. So using that, because food is medicine, it keeps us going. So using social media, it's been great to help us to get the word out. So,
what kind of led you to this film?
Well, I mean, the production company led me to the film, but I guess for me, I was also just attracted to the story when I heard about. I didn't know who Jose was at the before starting this project, and so when I heard about his kind of inspiring work, it was for me kind of a no-brainer, to be able to work on a project about an inspiring individual who provides people with hope in time of distress is that's kind of an honor. Yeah, it's an inspiring story. So yeah, that's what I'm attracted to, stories of hope and inspiration. Yeah,
That's great. Also, what do you think you learned throughout this process about everything, and what do you want audiences to learn after watching the film?
I guess that that even in people's darkest times, that hopefully we should, as an audience, support them in whatever way we can. Whether it's just like retweeting what they do, or spreading the word of the film, or donating. There are different ways that we can kind of come together as communities around the world to support people doing good, positive work.
And I think my last thing is, we're from UT Austin. We're both film students. What advice do you have for people trying to join the entertainment industry?
I mean, for me, I would say find your people. Find people that you get along with, that you work well with from as soon as you can. In some ways, it's like Walt, the producer on this film. We made our first film together 20 years ago. When we were students at Berkeley. And so, for me to be able to work with people I love, my friends, that for me is probably the most important thing, is building those meaningful relationships with people who do good work. And the same, Chris, who is the director of photography, we've worked together for about 10 years as well. And so, when and then work on projects that you believe in. Yeah. So if you can combine that kind of like passion, good, positive stories, and work on it with people that you genuinely have a good relationship with, then you hope for the best after that. Yeah.
I know that you were working with WCK.
After that. Yeah.
I know that you were working with WCK, and you used to do documentary films.
Yeah.
So how important is film to you when trying to send a message or using it to provide hope or whatever?
Yeah, I think storytelling is critical, and it's critical in our work, especially because we're on the front lines often of, very difficult situations. And so I just came from Ukraine myself, and as we're serving meals, we're also, in this place where we're seeing firsthand what people are experiencing, what the needs are. And so we have sort of a duty and a responsibility to get the word out there, to share that with the world, because otherwise, how are people going to know? How are they going to care? So we've built it into our team and everything that we do, that storytelling is really key to that. And also as a nonprofit, it's important because we want people to know how we're using their donations, right? If you give $5 or $50 or $500, I want you to be able to see that day what's happening, what's going on, what's your money being used for. Not, 6 months or a year from now, you get a report in the mail of this is what we've done, but really feel like you're there in real time. And so I think those are some of the reasons why. And this film, I think captures some of that on the ground, what's happening, the work that we're doing, and how our team, uses that storytelling component.
And bouncing off one of the last things you said, what do you think is the main thing you want audiences to take away from this film?
I think I want people to take away that in seeing this film, you're going to see this isn't some sort of crazy magical thing. It's just you get on the ground, you figure things out, you just start working. That's what Jose, our founder, Chef Jose Andres, says. And I want people to take away that this is something anybody can get involved in. Just show up, restaurants, chefs, volunteers, whoever, you can step up for your community, play a role. We're seeing this right now in Ukraine. We saw it here in Texas during the freeze, when restaurants and volunteers came in to feed the communities. And so, I hope this inspires people to get involved, to learn more about some of the issues around food and food access, and, hopefully want to just, play a strong role in this.